Hello everyone, and thank you for taking the time to watch my YouTube channel. My name is Rachel and you're watching The Sailing Siren. I'm currently filming from the kitchen of Chili House, which is the Freediver staff housing, and in this video we're going to be talking about my Level 3 course. For those of you who aren't familiar with my channel, I'm currently in the middle of a Zero to Hero program in the Philippines, where I'm going from having no formal freediving experience to becoming an SSI Level 2 freediving instructor. Check this video out if you want to learn about Mouthfill, FRC dives, the SSI Level 3 course, or what it's like to train in the Philippines. The Level 3 course is supposed to take 5 days, but since I'm doing a freediving internship, there's significantly more flexibility as far as completing the requirements go. I'll be giving you a day-by-day summary, but please keep in mind that these are the highlights rather than a complete account of my day-to-day activities. I'll also introduce you to a fellow classmate who's taking the Level 3 course with me. All right, without further ado, let's dive in. Hey everybody, so this is Vincent. Vincent, where are you from?
From France.
And why did you get into freediving?
Why?
Yeah.
Spearfishing and surfing.
All right, cool. The morning of day 1 was spent learning the theory of mouthfill and practicing in the pool. For those who don't know what mouthfill is, it's an advanced frenzel equalization technique that allows you to dive deeper than a regular frenzel equalization would. You're essentially using the air above your closed vocal folds to equalize your mask, ears, and sinuses. After lunch, we went into open water to see how deep we could go while taking our mouthfill from the surface. On the morning of day 2, we learned about functional reserve capacity, or FRC dives, which are dives that allow you to train pressure adaptation at depth, as you're starting your dive with less than your full lung volume. They're also an excellent way to train mouthfill. The rest of days 2 and 3 were spent practicing how to set up a buoy and line for diving, as well as drilling mouthfill and FRC dives on the line. Day 4 was spent meeting requirements to pass the Level 3 course. We spent the first part of the morning learning about competition protocol and how to plan your warm-ups for a competition. Hey guys, so here is the warm-up that I came up with for the 75-meter dynamic dive in the pool. As you can see, I've given myself 5 minutes for a gear up and buoyancy check, and I've given myself 2 minutes for a breathe up. My first static warm-up, I wanted to do 30 seconds of contractions. Usually my urge to breathe starts at about 1:30 to 1:45, and I don't normally need a super long break, so I started my rest at 15:24, and I've given myself 1 minute for that. I have a second static at 15:25 for 2 minutes, so this will allow me to have some contractions, and at the same time, I'm just used to doing 2 dives for a warm-up. I have a 2-minute break between my second static and my 50-meter dynamic warm-up, and I think it should take me about a minute to do that, and then I have a 3-minute rest before my 75-meter dive. For those freedivers who have done competitions, I would love to hear what your warm-ups look like. What do your warm-ups look like for static? What do they look like for dynamic? And what do they look like for depth? Feel free to leave a comment below so those of us with less experience can learn from you. The rest of the morning was spent in the ocean being each other's safeties, doing LMC rescues at 10 meters after diving to 20 meters, and doing blackout rescues from 20 meters. In Level 3, the students are performing the rescues on each other. The rest of the afternoon was spent doing a competition-style dynamic pool session. I got my first contractions around 45 meters, but remembered to slow down and relax for the rest of my dive. I'm looking forward to exploring the world of competitions at a later point. We then finished up the day talking about static coaching and techniques to help your dive buddy get through various phases of the static breath hold. We also talked about what you should discuss with a new dive buddy prior to training. They involved your dive buddy's current skill level, history of blackouts or loss of motor control, also known as LMCs, and a review of hand signals. We talked about how some people have different coaching preferences, including whether or not to move or touch them, whether or not they like you talking to them, and when to tell them their dive time, if at all. Lastly, we talked about how you should discuss the goals of the training session and what kind of training you both plan to do. This helped me a lot because after the Level 3 course, I'm primarily going to be training with masters rather than other instructors. On the morning of day 5, I successfully did an FRC dive to over 15 meters 3 times, which is one of the requirements to pass Level 3. In the afternoon, Vincent and I met the requirement of a 3:30 static breath hold time in the pool. I coached him first, and then he coached me. The point of this was to meet the requirement without getting a blackout or LMC, so we both came up soon after 3:30 rather than pushing for a max. I'm actually really starting to enjoy the pool disciplines of freediving. It's nice because I can still train them when I head back home to the US. We ended our course talking about the differences between the different freediving educational agencies, as well as etiquette on the buoy to make sure that our training sessions with other masters go smoothly. The last requirement of doing a constant weight dive to 30 meters was accomplished on a later day, and I'm happy to say that I completed this course without having the equalization issues that plagued me so much in the beginning courses. I'm excited to use the skills that I learned in this course to progress my freediving. The instructor course is in less than 1 month. I'm looking forward to training with other masters, so I'm ready. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with somebody who might be interested in freediving. I'd love to hear from others who are advancing in their freediving journeys. Have you mastered Mouthfill, or are you continuing to frenzel equalize? If you are learning Mouthfill, what are your biggest challenges with learning the technique? Please leave a message in the comments below. Okay, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week.